merry meet. So this is gonna be Venefica's Occult Findings number 17. Been quite a few of them now. Anyway, let me begin by some ritual tools. First I want to show you are these candle holders that I got. They are very nice. I like them. They are basically pentagrams, and they have these flowery things on them. Now, they look like they're stone, and they look very nice, but they're very lightweight. I'm not completely sure what they're made of. I think some sort of resin, but I'm not sure. But anyway, they look very nice, and they will be quite fun to have on my altar. Let's put them there for now. And then I have this altar cloth. Now, I didn't pay for this. It actually came as a free gift when I bought one of the tarot decks I'm going to show you afterwards. And it's very nice. I think he intended to to use as a tarot cloth, but I generally don't use these big layouts. I just generally don't I don't have the space for it, because that means I have to clean up my entire kitchen table, have every decoration, everything of it to do so. But yeah, it's very nice. It has this gold trim around it and triquarta in the middle. But it will look very nice on is my altar, and I haven't had these kinds of very nice altar cloths before, because I tend to get wax on them, wax and ash and all of those sort of things, so I have a tendency to just buy altar cloths after what's easy to wash. So yeah, I had one nice one once that my mother sued me, and it was this midnight blue, very nice one with gold pentagrams on them and all of that. The problem is that I was doing a ritual one day, and the container I used for the candle obviously couldn't take the heat because the candle started melting. I'm not really sure what's up with that. And the candle holder just exploded, spewing hot wax that was now currently on fire all over the altar. Now, strange enough, I didn't lose any other altar tools. They were all just fine, but I was just panicked. I was screaming on my hubby, who was just outside talking to a friend of ours who came rushing in and managed to stop the fire. But yeah, the altar cloth didn't fare too well. So yeah, let's hope this one has a better fate. So yeah, then let me talk about some tarot decks. I've gotten tarot of 78 doors. I haven't had time to really get into this yet, but it looks very interesting. It is probably a deck I will use more for meditation than for divination, but yeah, I've been wanting this for some time. And then my real coup for these few months, I've been wanting this deck for so long. Like I've said before, I'm a huge fan of the role-playing game Mage's Ascension, and they had basically tarot decks published that tied into the game. But these decks weren't originally intended to tell divinations, but they were intended to use with the game. But they are tarot decks, you can use them, and I have had the second edition deck, but not the first edition deck, and the first edition deck is so much nicer, and it's been insanely expensive because it's a collector's items, and there are some role-playing game collectors with very deep pockets out there, but I managed to find one affordably, so finally it's in my collection. This is both as a Mage's Ascension collector, I have almost everything published for that game, and as a tarot collector I've been wanting this for so long. And it's basically there's a little bit of damage there, but I can fix that with some glue and some tape, so yeah. It has this booklet and all of it. I think the tarot cards are exactly the same as it is for the second edition deck, but they are more vibrant in color. Let me show you one. They're the same on the back, but the card stock is better, and I just generally a better deck. So I'm gonna do a full review on this pretty soon. But yeah, I'm so happy about finally having this in my collection. So yeah, everything good comes to those that wait. Because I mean, I wasn't gonna pay like $200-300 for this deck, but finally I found it at a reasonable price. So yeah, and then I can live with a little bit of scuffing. Card looks brand new though. Anyway, let's move on to some New Age magazines. This Norwegian one, medium, and this is number 5 of 2013. And this is my favorite New Age magazine. But like I said, magazines are extremely expensive in Norway. I mean, I generally read Spirit and Destiny. It's the only New Age magazine I get regularly, and it is 1/3 to 1/2 of the cost, including shipping and everything, than it is to get mediums. I don't get it that often, but it has some interesting articles, and yeah. And then when we are talking about Spirit and Destiny, like I get every month, I have this month, it is Spirit and Destiny May 2013. A bit of a focus on magic and so on and so forth. So yeah. That is quite good. I really like those kinds of magazines. They're very nice when I'm on the train visiting my mother, because like I've said before, I have moved across the country from where I grew up. So every so often I go to visit my mom, and then I have a 5-hour train ride. Then I need things like that, and I often find that on the train when people are talking all around me and so on and so forth, it's difficult to focus on a book. So often I read cartoon comics, manga and magazines. So yeah. Anyway, some books. I've gotten Intuition for Beginners, Easy Ways to Awaken Your Natural Abilities by Diane Brandon, and it's by Leveller. So yeah, most of these for beginners books are pretty good. And then I've gotten Juice, Radical Tai Chi Energetics by Scott Meredith. And yeah, again, this is basic, it's Tai Chi, but the focus on it is energy manipulation and working with energy. So I really like that because I'm very much into energy work. It doesn't say what the company that publishes this is. Perhaps it says on the inside. No, it doesn't. Oh well. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to reading that one. Excuse me. And then I have excuse me again. And I have Ultimate Guide to the Rider-Waite Tarot by Johannes Freiberg and Evelyn Berger. And yeah, basically what this is a lexica of all the different symbols and little tiny tidbits of the Rider-Waite deck. Now, the reason I got this is not because I'm the hugest fan of the Rider-Waite deck. I do use it. It has this very basic symbolism, and it is sort of the template of many modern tarot decks. But I find the pictures somewhat boring. However, since it's the template of so many modern decks, learning that deck in and out is really helpful to understanding others. So let me see. For example, we have the Devil here. We have all these little, like on this side, for example, we have all these little notes about various things on the cards, and it goes in very much depth. So it's like somebody took a little white book for the Rider-Waite deck and just got it on speed. Then you have this book. And also planning on doing a review of that one eventually. And it is by Leveller. Yeah, it's by Leveller. And then I have The Horned Altar, Rediscovering and Rekindling the Canaanite Magic by Tess Dawson. So I don't know very much about this book. It was sort of like an impulse buy. It is by Lavelle, but it looks very interesting. Now I am always very skeptical when it comes to rekindling thy soul system. This is authentic system of such and such and such, but because very often it is more about what the author has made up. But you never know, and I generally like to read about different kinds of magic systems. And then I have The Essential Guide to Crystals, Minerals and Stones by Margaret Ann Lembo, which also is by Lavelle. And the strange thing about this book is that it doesn't look that big really. It's so heavy. It's really heavy, and that is because it has somehow managed to cram 440 pages into this relatively small book. I don't really know how they managed, and the pages are very glossy and nice too. It just exactly how they managed to print this, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's basically a stone lexicon. And then I have The Kabbalah and Magic of Angels by Megine Gonzalez Bipler. So basically, yeah, angels combined with Kabbalah magic, quite interesting. And then I have these tiny little booklet books thingy here. Crystal Pendulum for Dowsing, Ancient Knowledge for Unlocking Crystal Power, written by Robert V. Wood. So yeah, it's what it is. It's a booklet. It has, I don't know, 30 pages or so, no, 20 or so, yeah. And for what it is, it's a decent introduction to Pendulum. And it's by Rosewood Publishing, and the Kabbalah and Magic of Angels are by Lavelle. So yeah. And then we have The Ancient Egyptian Prayer Book by Tamara L. Sidra. And it doesn't say which publishing house has made it. And it is basically, I wanted this book since I saw it in one of Egyptian's videos. And it is basically exactly what it says. It's various forms of ancient Egyptian prayers that you can either then include into your own rituals or do on your own. And then I have the Reiki Healing Bible, which is from the same series as the squeaky book I reviewed earlier today. And it does squeak exactly like the other one. That's a little bit less. So yeah, I'm not overly impressed with this one, but yeah. And then of course the Crystal Healing Bible that I reviewed. And both of these are by Cartwell Books. So yeah. And then let's move on to some pendulums, because I really love pendulums. So first up is perhaps the coolest pendulum I own. Got it on Etsy, and it is a radio tube. Let me see if I can get a close-up of that. It's so cool. It is a radio tube, and the thing you hold it in is this very steampunky decoration here. It's a good pendulum. It is a little bit too long, so that it is more of a walking pendulum, and but it has a nice weight. So this is a very good pendulum to use when basically trying to find water outside, and so on and so forth. And I have gotten this agate pendulum. And this one, which is jasper, purple jasper. And I have gotten this very ugly calcite pendulum. Ugly, but has a nice weight to it. It's not always that it's pretty that counts. And I have finally gotten faceted dragons. Agate. It is faceted. And I gave the other one to a friend because he didn't have a pendulum and wanted to start using it. So yeah, so I wasn't happy with it. I gave it to him. And I have this. I'm not quite sure what kind of stone this is. I think it is some sort of agate. It came with one of the others, but I like the color of it, so I'm gonna read up on that. Faceted selenite. Faceted garnet. And I have this tiny little cute pendulum, which is basically that sort of artificial stone that is often called cat's eye. It's white. It's a little bit light, but it's very small when it's easy to slip into a pocket. And I have two big pendulums here. I don't think I showed you these two before. I showed you another one that I got from the same seller. But yeah, here is a love themed pendulum. Basically has angel wings and pink and red stones. And the handle is a heart. And yeah, for these ones, the handle is just these little metal bead things. All of those in this design has that. I got to show it, and this one just have a jump ring as a handle. Yes, and then the other pendulum. So it's basically a blue angel. It is turquoise with little brass wings and these findings here, and a chakra pattern up there, and a feather. And I really like this one. The only thing is that the rings aren't closed perfectly. It's somewhere, so sometimes you can catch your fingers sort of. I don't cut myself with it. They should have been closed better. Other than that, I really liked it. And the last pendulum I'm gonna show, and yeah, I do know I get far too many pendulums. I sort of are addicted to them. Is this? I call it aura stone. I'm not completely sure what it is. I think it is some way to dye rock crystal. I just really like the color scheme. It's like this oil slick, purple oil slick thing, and the handle is the same, just with a faceted bead. So I really like that one. I've been googling one of these for months. Yeah, and then let's get on to some stones. First thing I want to show is this one. It's very cute. It is a little Doria in rock crystal. And then I have gotten another one of these. It's in pirate grass and agate. It's a little jing-jang disc thing, which is very good to use for crystal layouts. So now I have two of them that I intend to use, for example, to just put on the palm of my hand for crystal layouts to balance the energies. And I have gotten some more rock crystal points. Now, you can never have too many rock crystal points, especially if you're doing layouts, because they are generally... It's like when soldering a circuit board and basically whatever metal you decide to use as connectors. This is the metal used for connectors when you do layouts. They are very nice to both increase the power of other stones and to get and to connect the energies of other stones. And I have two amethyst double terminated. All of these are double terminated. So yeah, I have this one. Has this cute imperfection here, which goes towards orange. And I have this one that has a lot of bubbles and a bit of rainbows in it. So yeah, I like those. And then I'm gonna move on to crystal skulls. I have had just a crush on crystal skulls lately. I wanted to start working with them. And I found this seller that had some fairly cheap. So let me start with a cabochon, a labradorite, skull cabochon, and then we have a small black crystal skull. Camera isn't picking up very well, but yeah, it's a little crystal skull. And I'm really interested in the energies of crystal skulls and working with them. How light? Really like the feel of this one. Landscape jasper. Brown agate. Carneo. That it's usually called sandstone. Normally I call it sunstone. It is an artificial stone actually, but yeah, that sparkly sandy stuff thingy. And I got first this lapis lazuli skull, but as you can see, it has some sort of stone fragments stuck in his eye socket, the poor thing. So I got a replacement from the seller. So now I have two of those. And then I've gotten two that is a little bit bigger. I have this, it's lime jasper. Really, really nice color. I've just been obsessed with this kind of neon-y candy green lately. And this, which is it is a kind of I don't know, it's completely lost my mind what it is in English. Anyway, it's fossilized fossilized things from the sea. Yeah, I think it's very, very gorgeous, and you have to forgive me for forgetting what its name in English. You see, Norwegian stones have a tendency to have different name for things than they are in English, so sometimes I forget the proper English name of them, but yeah. And that was my haul. A lot of pendulums, some books, and a lot of crystal skulls. So I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and blessed be.